Let me know. Let's see how it looks like. My people, can you see me? Can you hear me? Let me know. Today it's Monday, February 10th, 2025, and we are broadcasting live. I'm about to do my job of translating and telling people what is going on. Um, because of what's happening in the whole Rwanda international community. So I'm about to tell people what is going on, and then so we can keep talking about it. So in English, I'm going to tell people. Um, in English, I'm going to talk to people about the RUDAKUBANA case. I'm going to give people updates about the RUDAKUBANA case, tell you what I have discovered. And then in French, I'm going to tell you about, we're going to talk to the Congolese people, and I'm gonna tell you about what's happening between Rwanda and Congo. I'm going to translate a video the Rwandans be speaking in KinyaRwanda, translate it to the Congolese people. The same way, I'm gonna take a video that's in KinyaRwanda and translate it to the British people, give you an update of what's happened. So are we live on Instagram yet? Let's make sure we're live on Instagram as well. Okay, so I think maybe now we're live everywhere. Are we live on Facebook? People who are watching or people who follow me on Facebook, let me know if you can see me live. So I'm using a new studio as well today. So I'm a little bit lost. I don't know exactly how everything is working. Leave me comments if you see, if you're watching the show, wherever you're watching it from, leave me comments. I see that it's at least live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you're watching from one of those places, leave me a comment. Let me know uh, what's happening if you're seeing the show and what you are seeing. So let's start the show. As I said, we're using a new studio, so I have no idea how it's working, but yeah, let's do that. All right, my people. So today, Monday, February 10th, the Kagamistan in Rwanda. Did you see the Kagamistan in Rwanda talking about when he was interviewed about if the Rwandan army is in Congo? He denied and lied that he has no idea and it's not there. Oh my goodness. So, by the way, it's an open mic show. If anybody wants to come into the show and express themselves, I just posted the link to the studio in the comments so you will be able to see it. So, let's keep going. Oh, I see you, Anthony McPhail. I see you. All right, all right, all right. So I'm in a new studio, using new tech. That's why you see different things. So I'm letting the comments roll on the side over there. Let's see how that goes. And then so let's I'm about to show to the English speaking world which does not understand KinyaRwanda. I've promised you updates on RUDAKUBANA, so I will tell you what we have found out, unlike the Kagamistan, which is denying, talking about I don't know. We're gonna talk about what we know. Oh my goodness. So let's share the screen. Let's share the screen. So that's on YouTube. That's on YouTube. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I see we have somebody in the guest room already wanting to talk to us. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the the um, the screen sharing that I did. I don't know if you're seeing the screen sharing that I am doing, so that you can see. How come I'm not seeing the screen sharing that I'm supposed to? Oh, I'm supposed to add it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I'm supposed to add it. Ah! All right, my people, be patient with me because I'm new to this new studio, so that's why. So I'm about to show you a KinyaRwanda video that talks about the updates on RUDAKUBANA, and you can see it on my U&I Talk Show page where I do posts. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you what Rwandan people are saying about AXEL RUDAKUBANA, talking about his network in the UK, because as you know, he may not have been working alone, and if people want to investigate, unlike the Kagamistan, which is pretending to not know, we're going to share what we know so that if people want to investigate, they can investigate. So, what have Rwandan people been talking about? So, but the issue is that they speak in KinyaRwanda. So if you don't speak KinyaRwanda, you're not gonna know what's happening in the Rwandan community. And as we said, we're sharing information so that the people who are responsible of investigation can investigate more. So this is one of those pieces that we are sharing. Allegations of people who helped this young man become a criminal, people who were part of his network in the UK. So this is a video on the YouTube channel of Radio IKAMBA, and it happens in KinyaRwanda, and it's by a man called Jean Paul Ntagara. And Jean Paul Ntagara is part of Rwandan activists and resistance to the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So he also did a show, and then he is talking about AXEL RUDAKUBANA. Okay, let's advance to the minute where he specifically talks about that, because it's actually a long video. Happy birthday to him. It looks like he was also celebrating his birthday on that day. Let me look at where I had taken notes exactly and get you to the exact point. So my people, tell me, you can see the video, hear the video, leave me comments, and then so we're going to hear what the Rwandan people are saying about AXEL RUDAKUBANA and his network in the UK, and then I'm going to translate for you non-KinyaRwanda speakers about what this man is saying about AXEL RUDAKUBANA and his network in the UK. So it starts at minute 2 hours 03 40 seconds. This is 16. Let's listen from here and hear what he's saying.
Kuba aho bita Scotland. Urumva ko iyo ni inkuru ihari. Umukobwa se mwazamungejejeho nyabo. Nk'ibi byose nibyo bigomba kujya mu bapolisi bakafunga izi mayiboho.
So he's like, all these things are things that must be reported in the police. So all these criminals can be investigated and taken care of. So he's talking about Rwandan criminals network in the UK. And then so he has given the name. Actually, let me rewind it just a tiny little bit so we can get to the part where he talks about these people and he gives their names, so you can hear their names yourself, and then we're gonna go into what they said.
Arabizaniye mujye mubafurashinga ahubwo mutegereje flash bamanuke mu mwanda. Egide Ruhashya na Bosco Ngabonzima.
So he's mentioning a man called Egide Ruhashya and Bosco Ngabonzima. I will show you this Egide Ruhashya, who he is, after I translate for you this show, because Egide Ruhashya also happens to have a YouTube channel. He's a propagandist of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So this man talks about Egide Ruhashya, who lives in the UK, and Ngabonzima Bosco, and talks about how they are part of the Kagamistan criminal network in the UK, and he is talking about allegedly crimes that they have committed or that they are suspect to have committed. So let's listen.
Bagize uruhare mu gusunika umukobwa muri train railway. Muri train railway. Uwo mwabyumvise wa mu Ngabonzima wa mwana.
So he's saying how this guy, Egide Ruhashya and Ngabonzima, had a role in actually pushing a woman on the trail railway. They had a role into pushing, they pushed a woman on the trail, on the train railway. They were trying to kill the woman.
Bita ntuza ngaho. Uwo ni Egide Ruhashya na Ngabonzima Bosco.
That's Egide
Bagize uruhare mu
Ruhashya
gusunika
and
umukobwa muri
Ngabonzima
train
Bosco.
railway. Uwo mukobwa ntavuze izina ko yari yanze ngo gutanga ka kofi.
So they allegedly participated in pushing this girl that will remain anonymous, because this girl had refused to give someone coffee. And then he's about to explain what is coffee in the KinyaRwanda way of thinking, and how they see what is coffee, what are they talking about. So this girl, this woman, was tasked with giving someone coffee, and the woman refused. And these two men, Egide Ruhashya and Ngabonzima Bosco, allegedly participated in trying to kill this woman by pushing her on the train.
Yari yanze gutanga ka kofi. Mwumve amagambo agiye akoreshwa y'amatrike muri jenoside, amagambo ahisha ibindi nko gukora n'ibindi nabo.
So pay attention to the words that are being used, the same way that during the genocide, people will be using code words in order to hide what they are actually saying and doing. So this is the same way that even here they talk about coffee, but it's something else. So pay attention to this.
bafite amagambo bahinduye uko bayahinduye uretse wumva uwo mukobwa basunitse muri treni railway, ni ukuvuga iriya nzira ya gari ya moshi, kuri gari ya moshi ze bagahita bagusamo kuko iba itagomba guhita ifata fure igahita ikwekaraza. yari yanze gutanga ka kofi. Kofi ni iki?
So the woman who was pushed on the railway had refused to give coffee. So what is coffee?
Kofi niko bita utuzi twa munyuza. Ako kantu mukumve baruhashya batanga kofi na Ngabonzima. Uwo mukobwa we yanze kuyatanga, bafata gahunda yo kumusunika muri ntuzo.
So coffee is the poison that Rwandans call the water of Munyuza. Munyuza is one of the servants of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. He's known for making uh, poison. So these guys, Ejide Ruhasha and Gabonzima, are suspected of being part of the people who poison people. And then when they try to recruit this woman into poisoning people as well, this woman refused to be part of the people who poison, and that's why they try to push her under the train.
Ngo ku muntu bashakaga kugirira nabi.
They sent her to someone that they wanted to poison. They wanted to send this woman on a mission to someone that they wanted to poison, and then she refused it. Someone that they wanted to harm.
Kubw'amahirwe ugomba kuba uwo mukobwa atarapfuye, kuko ngo yahise yimuka ajya kuba aho bita Scotland.
And luckily, this woman did not die, and then she moved right away, and she went to live in a place called Scotland.
Urumva ko iyo ni inkuru ihari. Umukobwa se mwazamungejejeho nyabo.
So this is a story that exists, and then this man, Jean Paul Ntagara, is asking if somebody can hook him up with this lady so he can most likely interview her on his platform.
Nk'ibi byose nibyo bigomba kujya mu bapolisi bakafunga izi mayiboho.
All these things must be made known to the police so these vagabonds, these criminals can be arrested, investigated, and imprisoned.
Mwazamungejejeho uwo mukobwa nkamwereka inzira uko bigenda.
I want you people, if anybody knows this woman, to connect me to this woman so I can help her, show her how it goes, so she can tell the criminals or expose the criminals.
Babigize karaha kajya he, dufite ahantu tubanyuza ko bagomba kujya mu nzego zibacira imanza. Ya nterahamwe yitwa AXEL RUDAKUBANA wishe abana bato.
So this is where he begins now to speak about AXEL RUDAKUBANA, who killed those children. You know, he is referring to him as Interahamwe, as one of those people who committed genocide in Rwanda. So he's like, okay, so now I'm about to tell you about that AXEL RUDAKUBANA, who killed children in the UK.
Southport.
In Southport.
Muzi ko yafatanywe uburozi.
As you know, poison was also found. They caught poison on him as well.
Bombe zo mu modoka, kandi icyo gihe Ejide Ruhashya, Bosco Ngabonzima na Liyetona Tom bari bamaze iminsi bajya guhura nawe iwabo. Babyumvise? Byumve neza. Ise w'uwo.
So they caught poison in his parents' house, and before they caught poison in his parents' house, these people that he's talking about had actually been visiting his parents' house and socializing with them. I'm going to rewind this part a little bit so that I can repeat it.
bagafunga izi mayibobo mwazamunjejejeho uwo mukobwa nkamwereka inzira uko bigenda babigize karaha kajya he dufite ahantu tubanyuze ko bagomba kujya mu nzego zibacira imanza.
These people who are committing crimes, who think that they can get away with it, we have to denounce them, and we have to make sure that proper authorities know, so that they can go through the justice system and suffer the consequences of their harmful actions.
Ya nterahamwe yitwa AXEL RUDAKUBANA wishe abana bato Southport muzi ko yafatanywe uburozi
AXEL RUDAKUBANA, as you know, they found poison on him.
bombe zo mu modoka kandi icyo gihe Egide Ruhashya, Bosco Ngabonzima na Liyetona Tom bari bamaze iminsi bajya guhura nawe iwabo.
So AXEL RUDAKUBANA, who killed children in the UK, was found, and they found poison. Among the things that they found on him was poison and some terrorism stuff material. And before he was found and caught, these people, Egide Ruhashya and Ngabonzima, and another man that he says Lieutenant Tom, had been going to meet this kid at his parents' house. They had been meeting, socializing with this kid at his parents' house. These are the same two guys that he had just mentioned that had tried to commit a crime to kill this woman because she would not participate in their criminal network and participate in poisoning people. So these people who are part of the network, as allegedly as he says, were known to be socializing with AXEL RUDAKUBANA at his parents' house.
Wabyumvise?
You hear
Byumve
properly?
neza.
You must
Ise
hear
w'uwo
properly.
mwana bita Maître Alphonse,
The father of AXEL RUDAKUBANA, who they call Maître Alphonse, that's like Master Alphonse. This is due to his karate status. Remember, he was a karate guy, and he allegedly came to the UK for karate. And remember how we had told you that his father was part of the Kagamistan Killing Machines army, and he had joined the army as an underage boy, and he left because he had joined as an underage boy. They allowed him to leave so he can continue to play his karate, allegedly. But Rwandan people were suspecting that this is just a cover, that he may have been sent to the UK as an undercover, as a sleeper cell, as a spy. So he's talking about these people who are servants of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, meeting at the parents' house at Maître Rudakubana house, where even AXEL RUDAKUBANA, the young boy who killed those little girls, was living. Let's continue. I'm gonna rewind a few seconds.
ise w'uwo mwana bita Maître Alphonse karateka donc bahuraga n'umwana kwa se bita Maître Alphonse. Ibi byemeza aho uwo mwana yakuye izo bombe n'uburozi. Donc
So they are suspecting that this may be one of the things that can testify as to where this young underage boy, who was still underage, may have gotten the support and the poison and the weapons and all the stuff that he has. This could begin to explain or to serve as partial evidence, or to prove as to his network, and to understand where this young boy AXEL RUDAKUBANA uh, got everything that he got, where he got it from.
Donc ibi byemeza aho uwo mwana yakuye izo bombe n'uburozi. Mubyumve neza. Ça c'est très 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 délicat.
It's like, so this is a very, very delicate part, that this, what he's saying, may help to show and to prove where this young man, this boy, this child, got the poison from.
Iki ni ikintu gikomeye cyane. Aho bakubwira ngo uyu mwana Egide n'uyu Bosco n'uyu Tom Liyetona bajyaga kumusura iwabo.
So he's saying that this is something that is profoundly serious, to discover that this young boy was getting visits from these three guys, Egide Ruhashya, Ngabonzima Bosco, and this lieutenant that he's calling a lieutenant, Tom or Theo. You heard his name, what he said, that they would visit this young boy at his parents' house at Maître Rudakubana, the father of the boy, who is a master karate man, and also an army person who went into the Kagamistan killing machines army as an underage boy himself. And as you know, this Kagamistan killing machines army is currently in Congo, still killing and plundering. They have killed millions and millions of lives in Congo. This is the army that we are talking about, and this is their network that we are talking about. If all these allegations that must be investigated would start to explain how an underage boy, a young boy who was still under 18, may have the ideology and the political leaning to take the initiative to go and kill children, and to be obsessed with genocide, and to train and eventually become a killer. You know, he's surrounded by these criminals and these killers, and who are part of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. And this is what this man is exposing. He got a letter from another exposer himself. So thank you to everyone who has been trying to expose. Let's continue to listen.
Mbere yuko akora ririya shyano, mbere yuko afatwa.
And this was before AXEL RUDAKUBANA got caught, before he did what he did. So the man is talking about these people that were socializing with him even before he did what he did.
Egide rwose mwebwe ntimumuzi, ni umuntu wagurishije roho ye, kandi intore zino aha zose ziba zimuvuga zimuseka ngo ise yakoranaga na Habyara.
So this Egide Ruhashya, you may not know him, but he is actually known as someone who has sold his soul. Who has sold his soul. It's like he's insinuating that he has, this Egide Ruhashya has sold his soul to the devil, and he has no soul, and he's a servant of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. And the insiders of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, they actually laugh at this man who has sold his soul and who serves the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, because this man is actually a son of someone who was very important under the previous dictatorship that the Kagamistan had to kick out. As you know, the Kagamistan went to war talking about they're going to kick out a dictatorship so that they can bring democracy. So they kicked out the dictatorship so they can bring democracy. But then they brought to Rwanda a dictatorship that is much worse, that even commits crimes without borders, commits crimes in Congo, Mozambique, other places in Africa, in Europe. They had spies in Canada. The Canadian have done documentaries about it. The RCMP has found somebody spying on the RCMP in Canada for the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So this Egide Ruhasha, the man that he's talking about being in the network and being part of the network of AXEL RUDAKUBANA, who killed those little girls, his father was actually a very important man, part of the Habyarimana regime, the regime that was toppled by the Kagamistan. His father was a top military person who had helped the previous dictatorship to come into power. And his son, all his life, he had lived in privilege. So this is a son of somebody who is used to live in privilege. So he grew up, his father being a top military guy, part of the ruling dictatorship. And now, as he is growing up himself, he is also serving the next dictatorship, which replaced the previous dictatorship, which this current dictatorship is worse than the previous dictatorship that they replaced. My camera is tripping. So, anyways, that's what happens when you have the budget of independent media, when you don't have too much budget. Okay, so let's keep going. So, this is just to give you a background into who is this Egide Ruhasha, and why does he serve the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan so much? Because he is he's trying to prove something. You know, he has that little complex because his father was part of the previous dictatorship, so he's kissing ass, you know, or maybe it's like generational professional ass kisses to criminal dictatorships regimes. So this is what this man is saying. In case He's saying, in case you don't know who Egide Ruhasha is, this is who he is.
uwo mwana Axel bamufatanye dokima yitwa Rwanda's Hutu Extremist Insurgency.
And this young boy, Axel Rudakubana, one of the documents that they caught on him was Rwanda's Hutu insurgents.
An eyewitness perspective and death and survival during the 1994 genocide in Rwanda.
So you heard the name of the document, you know, he said it in English.
Byumva, iyo ni dokima bamufatanye. Ntabwo nabashije kubona ntabwo dokima bayimpaye. Ndizera ko abantu bayifite mwazayimpa, mwumva ibintu FPR birimo gutegura mwabantu.
I have no idea what's in the document. I hope that maybe if people have the document, they can help me, show me the document. But it's to expose some of the very bad things that the regime in Rwanda, the RPF in Rwanda, may be preparing. This He's insinuating that the RPF regime in Rwanda may be preparing genocide against the Hutus. I think this is what he's insinuating, because the documents is about the Hutus. So he's warning people and telling people, like, listen to what the RPF be preparing.
Mwumve ibintu FPR birimo gutegura. Uzazishakire go aha. Urumva ariko uko byagenze. Axel Rudakubana wishe babana bato, bamutozaga n'abangabo bakagira ngo kandi ubu Bwongereza ntibubizi.
So, do you understand, and are you listening to what has happened? Allegedly, AXEL RUDAKUBANA was being trained and being surrounded by these people. And they think that they are so slick, so smart, and that the UK and the British people are never going to find out, or that they don't know, they have no clue.
uramubona ruhashya yigira kuriya yizengurutsa ibi bintu byose bigomba kuba documented bikohererezwa inzego za polisi mu Bwongereza dayiri baranabifite.
So this Ejide Ruhashya, everything that he does and everything that he's been doing has to be documented and has to be sent to the authorities in the UK so that they can investigate. Maybe they already have these documents, but Jean Paul Ntagara, this man, is suggesting that this information must be sent to the authorities in the UK so that they can absolutely investigate. The concern and the worry in the Rwandan community is that um, it's not just one person who is planning really bad things. It's an entire network of servants and ass kissers of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, because they have pledged, and we have them on video in the UK pledging allegiance to the Kagamistan in Rwanda. And when they pledge allegiance, they actually pledge that if the Kagamistan orders them to do something, they are obliged to do that thing that they are ordered to do. And they are on video pledging in the UK that they will serve the Kagamistan. So if they came to the UK as refugees, they are fake refugees, because they are serving the very same dictatorship that they ran away from. When you're a refugee, you run away from your country. How can you go back to your country, and how can you be serving the country that you ran away from? So all these Rwandans who are serving the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, even though they live in exile, even though they come outside as immigrants and refugees, all these are suspects, fake refugees, fake immigrants who are only outside to serve the criminal dictatorship in its missions. So one of the things that actually this man was suggesting is that they should be investigated, and if they are serving the criminal dictatorship and they're fake refugees, they should be sent back to the criminal dictatorship. Why should be they living out here among the real refugees, you know? This is what one of the things that he was suggesting, or he may have suggested before or later on in the video. So anyways, let's continue to listen to him a little bit more.
Baranabifite kuko batubwiye ko ngo basanze, ni ukuvuga ko hari abandi babivumbuye. Komeze bajye bakomeza bikore kuri uzajya ukubona ubone barabahambiriye bose babasubije mu Rwanda.
So all these people think that they are so slick, and they think that they will get away with their uh, harmful activities. But hopefully, one day the people will investigate, and one day you will see all these people getting arrested and getting taken back to Rwanda, you know, since they've been even in the UK broadcasting about how Rwanda is safe. Rwanda is safe for the servants of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. So these servants of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, they are the ones who should be welcome to be sent back to Rwanda. I'm messing up my background myself, eh? Look at that. Okay. So let's continue. I think it's just 1 minute remaining before we get to the end.
Baragiye se agashinga akabari bakagatwika, ashingiwe n'umugore w'umurundi, murundikazi, bakagashumika, hanyuma ubu noneho niba mu dipotinga kandi wumva ari toilette ari papier hygienique bagomba gufurashinga, bizagenda bi.
So allegedly, this man, Ejide Ruhashya, went back to Rwanda a while ago, and he tried to start a business with a Burundi woman. And the Kagamistan criminal dictatorship in Rwanda sabotaged his business. and then he had to leave Rwanda and go to the UK. I don't know if he went there as an immigrant or as a fake refugee, lying that he's running away from Rwanda when it's fake lies, when he's still serving the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So this man, Jean Paul Ntagara, is criticizing him, saying like, he's what's going to happen to him when he gets deported or sent back to Rwanda, because the criminal dictatorship doesn't even really like him, because he comes from that family which used to serve the previous dictatorship, the dictatorship that this dictatorship toppled. Some people who are part of the previous dictatorship, they like to work with the next dictatorship to sort of buy themselves a way out. Or maybe because they're used to serving criminal dictators and they don't care about the people, anybody suffering. If they can just find their own interest serving the criminal dictatorship, they will serve the criminal dictatorship. So that's what's happening with this guy.
ko ari kasiyo kandi wumva ko n'abandi baturage bamuzi ko yirirwa heha cyane bikabije kugeza naho nabo ubwo bibatera noze.
So apparently, this guy is such a major ass kisser that even the people that he's kissing ass, even they don't like him. They're like, he's such a major ass kisser, right? They don't like him. They be talking about him.
Ukuntu yigira ivuga acuritse umutwe, ubwo yageze imbere ya ambasade nyine yigira arihinahina arikunja ngo yerekane ko yubashye, yagize gute po.
So apparently, this guy, he knows how to act and humble himself and go make himself like a perfect ass kisser man, and show that he's very, very submitted and he's submissive to the criminal dictatorship, so that they can keep employing him, keep giving him that job.
Umuco wo guhakirizwa wagira ngo n'uw'iwabo, guhakirizwa tu. Dore abantu Jide yigeze kuvuga mu kabari ko bazabamerera nabi. Hari uwitwa Minadabu ngo ni umuntu wabaye.
So, and then apparently this guy is a professional ass kisser. He's into being submissive and, being what Black Americans would call a house nigger, working for the oppressor against the rest of the oppressed. And every now and then, when he's serving the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, he gets drunk and lost, and he starts to reveal their secrets, and he starts to talk about the people that the criminal dictatorship is planning to harm. Can you imagine? So this is what he's saying, that every now and then this man gets drunk in drinking pubs and all that, and he starts to talk about the people that the criminal dictatorship that he allegedly serves is planning to harm. And at one time, he's there giving names of all the people that the Kagamistan is planning to harm. And one of the people that he mentioned was this guy called Aminadabu.
Igisenyi. Hari umuko wo kwa Habyara witwa Kabanda.
And another man named Kabanda, who married somebody from the former president Habyarimana family.
Hari Nobo Marara.
And then there's Nobo Marara. Nobo Marara used to be Kagame's bodyguard. I have actually interviewed him here on U&I Talk Show.
Patrick Ntwari, hari René Mugenzi.
And then Patrick Ntwari, and then René Mugenzi. René Mugenzi is also known in the UK. The criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan has tried to harm him.
Na Musonera.
And another man named Musonera.
Iyo cyabaga cyujuje cyaragendaga gigatangira kuvuga na cible zabo bahiga zabo bashakisha.
So when this man gets drunk, he starts to reveal the targets of the criminal dictatorship that he allegedly serves. When he gets drunk, he starts to reveal the people that may be targeted by the criminal dictatorship.
uyu harimo Aminadabu wari umuntu utuye, ndumva Aminadabu nayize kumva quelque part ahantu, si ubwa mbere mwumvise. Hari umukobwa Habyara
So he's repeating the names: Aminadabu, the men who married into the Habyarimana family,
witwa Kabanda, akaba
Kabanda,
n'uwitwa Nobo Marara,
Nobo
amuzi,
Marara.
akaba n'uwitwa cyangwa Noble Marara, akaba n'uwitwa Patrick Ntwari, akaba n'uwitwa René Mugenzi nawe muramuzi, na Musonera nawe muramuzi, uriya uri ngubu ugeze hehe sinzi, yageze kwa Rudasingwa hari
So he
wishaka
so he
wara.
just gave all the names of all the people who were targeted that these
Ngabo
men
abantu
revealed.
uko ibintu byifashe. Ubushize twari twabwiye yuko abantu muduha amakuru, abantu bakaba yaduhaye na link twagenda tureba za bimwe mu byo yagiye avuga aho ngaho. Muri iyi nkuru yatwandikiye hari nk'iyi link ati Rwanda exiles in London threatened by hitman.
Okay, so I'm muting him here. Here he's just giving the links. This is the end of our segment. So he's also sharing the links of some of the UK media. This is the BBC, which had wrote about some of the people who were threatened by the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. As you can see, is Rwandans exile, who are threatened in the UK by the Kagamistan. And he also gives another link by The Guardian, which talks about the man who is threatened, Nobre Marara, who used to be Kagame's bodyguard, who also lives in the UK, who has written a book about his experience with the Kagamistan. His book is called Behind the Presidential Curtain. You can find it on Amazon. So this is the one. I think we can end there. So he's also a dissident, and he's living in the UK. And this is what I was saying. Like he's been into the Kagamistan army. When you have been into the Kagamistan army, they don't just let you go off and live happily ever after, as they used to as they used to like they to allow you to go live happily ever after as anybody else. They can't allow you to go and live happily ever after like anybody else if you have been part of the army. So for example, Nobre Marara, who was part of the army, who was the Kagamistan bodyguard, he had to run away from the Kagamistan in order to live happily in the UK. So this is the other thing. So I think that's it for the English speaking world. I just wanted to give you that piece of information in English so that the people who are following this case in the UK can um, can start to investigate, can start to know what is going on, and what's happening, in the UK, and what exactly is are these people up to. And if they have an entire network and you only go after one guy, well, it will be then what's going to happen to the rest of the network? They may be remaining and getting ready to commit more crimes because they are not being investigated. So we are sharing what we know, the information, so that the people who are interested in investigating, if they're interested in investigating, they can investigate. All right. So the let's end the let's end the this section of the show and move into French. I'm into a new studio, so it's I'm a little bit slow because I don't know where everything is. So, anyways, let's end this English section and move into French. Let's play the music to transition into French, my people. Thank you, everybody. Oops.